Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Helder Espinoza in the 15-minute pool on ICC. Let's play the English against Helder Espinoza from Mexico. He is 2264, 53 wins, 10 losses, 8 draws. Peak rating of 2269. Let's play G3 against the Symmetrical English. This is a very reliable line for black if handled correctly. I think C5 is one of the best responses to C4. Hope you guys are doing well this Sunday. I'm posting this video a little bit late, so my apologies for that. Just had a very busy weekend, so haven't had a chance to record until now. The final round of the US Championship just started, so I will be watching that after this. Lots of controversy in the wake of the Wesley So forfeiture against Varujan Akobian, which it's kind of unfortunate that that has such a strong storyline because there's been some really awesome chess played, but it's kind of marred the event a little bit. Let's play knight f3 in this position. And if he goes e6, I might play this line with d4, but he plays knight f6 instead. And I like playing d4 right now. I prefer playing d4 to castling, because if you castle, and then play d4, it's more acceptable for black to play d6 in reply, I think. So doing d4 before castling limits black's options a bit. Now they usually castle, and then after white castles, black takes on d4. They can also play a line with d6, which is a pawn sack line. See which way Helder Espinoza goes. Looking at his other ratings, they're really low. He has a 5-minute rating of 1266, which is, you know, there's a 1,000-point difference between his 5-minute rating and his 15-minute rating. That makes me a little nervous. Like, why is there such a big gap? I don't know. Okay, so he played queen b6. I think I'll probably just play knight b3 against that move. This seems superficial to me, so yeah, knight b3, and a lot of times I can later play c5 and try to cramp him. He'll probably lose time with this queen. Queen b4. This is very greedy. So he just wants to win my c4 pawn? So if I play c5, I guess he has knight e4, is what he's arguing. But I probably want to let him take the pawn on c4. So I don't really have a good way to defend it, necessarily. Like, playing c5 is principled, but that knight e4 move, because after knight e4, bishop takes e4, bishop takes c3 check, b takes c3. He has queen takes e4, is the problem. So I don't like the look of that. I could go c5, knight e4 castles, and that's kind of dynamic. It's actually like pretty interesting looking. Maybe I'll do that. So, c5, knight e4 castles. He can take either way on c3. Say he takes the bishop maybe, but pawn takes, knight takes, queen c2. I think I have good compensation there. Okay, let's do this move. I'm a little worried he might have other moves, like, I don't know what, actually. I mean, if he doesn't have knight e4, like a5, if he tries to go a5 in an attempt to go a4, I'm fine playing a3 myself. It just dawned on me that he can play after castles, like maybe just knight takes c5. But I do have knight d5 if he does that. Yeah, that's not good for him. Attacking his queen, which in turn is defending c5, and I'm also hitting c7. So he's probably going to take on c3. He does. So I'm banking on my compensation. I wonder if bishop h6 is interesting here, if I get decent comp from that. Bishop h6, he takes on a1. I take with my queen. He plays f6. I fear the position is not quite open enough, though, for me to claim full comp. Rook b1 would be a much simpler way to play this position. Let's go rook b1. So I'm down a pawn, but I have some open lines to work with. Okay, bishop d2. He can plunk his queen on a4. I feel like I should trade the dark square bishops. His development will be restricted. Like, he won't be able to play d6 or b6 so easily. Let's just develop now. Let's go bishop f4. Seems like a sensible square. I'm a little worried about this a5, a4 idea in the middle game, especially, though. Now I was thinking just queen c2. Or maybe queen c1 is more savvy. Trying for bishop h6, because queen c2, I'm in range of his knight, like knight d4. Granted, he probably won't play that right away, though. I think queen c2 is reasonable. So I'm playing for positional compensation, really. The pawn I've given up has not garnered me any play against his king, per se. But I hope to make it difficult for him to develop. Yeah, that's a good square for his queen. Queen a4. Also introduces knight b4 as an idea. Really think I might want to get the dark square bishops off. Maybe rook fd1 is a move I should play first, though. Just for now. So then if he plays knight b4, my plan is to go queen c4. So he can't capture on a2 because of the pin on his queen. Or queen e4 is also interesting. Same pin and I would be hitting e7. b5. He's playing pretty quick now, too. b5. So if I take en passant, he takes with this pawn and he gets instant pressure here. I do open up another attacker on c6, but that doesn't bother him. Maybe queen d2 in this position? Trying for bishop h6. Looks okay. I mean, even if I go bishop h6, I'm wondering if I lose the a2 pawn. Like, let's say he takes it and I get my queen in. He grabs on a2. That would again be greedy by him, but do I have sufficient development to punish him and attack his king? That's the question. My queen wasn't doing much on c2. It had to be repositioned, so a5 now. All out blitz on the queen side. Thinking I probably will play bishop h6. Yeah, I need some sort of counterplay, so even though this is an exchange, it gets rid of this strong dark square bishop. Queen b4 is an option for him. Idea, bishop takes g7, and then take on d2. Yeah, he's being very greedy. All right, so can I punish this? That's the big question. I don't want to move my rook because it's defending the knight. I could go knight d2, trying to go knight e4 and eventually get the knight over to g5. Bishop d5 is also interesting to like x-ray his queen. But bishop d5, I'm wondering if he can just play a4 even. Because my knight, if it's going to retreat, it doesn't have a lot of good squares. Like, it can't go to c1 because queen takes b1. And if I go to d2, well, I wouldn't be defending d5 anymore. He's also threatening my e2 pawn. So I'm thinking I should maybe play knight d2, but I'm not altogether happy about this position, let's say. But I don't know. It's interesting. There's a lot to be said for White's initiative, but do I have enough? I'm gonna try this plan. I feel like I got to get my knight involved. I'd love to lift a rook over to h4, but I don't see logistically how I do that. Because his knight was covering d4 on the previous move, and if that rook had moved, I would be losing the other rook. I'm kind of threatening the b5 pawn. I probably wouldn't want to take time out to win that pawn, given that I need the initiative here. I wonder if f6 is a decent move from him, trying to bring the queen back to f7. Maybe I can go h4, h5. And hopefully not get my queen trapped if he responds with g5. Yeah, he's playing good defensive moves. If you play rook b3 and try to run an interference, rook b3 and then bishop d5 check might be an issue for him. Let's try it. Rook b3, queen c2 though. Attacking this rook and then attacking c5. It's like my pieces, if they get coordinated, can land some blows and do some damage, but I'm having a real tough time, especially with this knight. This knight is giving me fits right now. If I take the pawn on b5, I feel like it's a moot point. He does not mind giving one pawn back if it kills off my initiative. h4, h4, queen f7 though. Not sure h4 really does anything either. Rook a1, queen f7. Knight back to b3 would be kind of silly. What about knight e4? Knight e4, he'll play the queen back to f7. I am going to play this though. What if he takes on e2? Idea queen h5 might be a viable defense. I wish my knight didn't exist so I could play bishop d5 check. Alright, let's go h4. This move really doesn't do a whole lot, but maybe I can solve my back rank problems, and h5 is something he'll have to think about at least. I couldn't see a concrete way of proceeding. b4 played instantly. Just coming at me with these pawns. Okay, what about knight b3 again? Back to looking at this move. Doesn't do much, though. It really doesn't. Idea would be bishop d5 in that case, but it's too artificial to do anything. Alright, I'm going to try this move. I'm trying to get my knight into c4. My queen holds the knight on d2, so I'm not hanging that. Maybe just bishop a6, though. Would be a tidy defense, I think. Yeah, I mean, this move, it's unclear if knight c4 is even a threat. But at least I can try to probe him on the b6 square. I don't know. Not the direction I wanted to go towards his queen side rather than his king side, but... Yep, bishop a6 is played. If h5, he can just go g5. My queen is locked out. All right, I'm getting the queen out of here. It wasn't doing anything on h6. But I'm really grasping at straws right now. This is not good at all, obviously. I'm down 2 pawns. They're 2 connected pawns. Never got the compensation I would have liked on the king side. He cannot play queen e6 because I trade queens and then take his knight on c6. So there's that. Unfortunately, I'm not threatening anything. I might go h5, now that my queen wouldn't get trapped after g5, but yeah, he's just improving his position. Okay, let's do this. Queen e6 might be a good reply now. Because now the knight is actually defended, so queen e6 he could take back with his d-pawn. Really, rook f8. Just leaving his king to its own devices. What if knight b3 trying to cut off the queen? He's going to play a4. Almost certainly. Okay, running out of time though. He can take on e2. Yeah, that's pretty much over if he takes there. Because then he's threatening the h5 pawn as well. Yeah, this is basically done for. Down too much material. All right, let's resign. Okay, let's have a look. So this symmetrical English, like I said, is a good weapon for black. I mean, if handled properly, I don't think white really gets much in most of the main lines. The other common way to play this is after knight f3 to play e6 and try to put the knight on e7. So he plays knight f6 though, and then d4, take and take. Now this offbeat move, queen b6. I'm not aware of this move because like everyone castles in this position, so I'm really not aware of queen b6. Okay, top choice of the engine. Knight takes d4. He thought for about a minute here though. So maybe I should, in view of the queen b4 move, maybe I should drop it back to c2 instead, just to roll out queen to b4. The engine likes, what, knight db5? Okay, that's also possible, isn't it? Blocks his queen. And if a6, I assume bishop e3? Nope, knight a4. That seems awkward. Queen
check.
a5 check, bishop d2, queen back to d8. I don't know why black would want to gift white a tempo and not go queen d8 immediately. Knight b3 to me seemed very logical. It might not be a mistake, but I think in retrospect maybe I'd look at knight c2 as well. So here, yep, queen b4. Attacking the pawn. It's a really artificial and downright risky idea for black. He's taking some liberties with his development. But it's demanding as well. I mean, he's just saying, hey, I'm going to try to win a pawn. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to get compensation? So I did play c5. He did play knight e4. I saw this move coming. So the main thing I was concerned about was this.
Check.
And then after b takes, taking here. I didn't really like my position. It seemed like my structure was compromised, and I'm not down anything here, but yeah, after castles, I guess this pawn still has restrictive value. It prevents b6 and d6. So there's maybe something to be said about this option, but suffice it to say, black doesn't have any problems here. Don't think my dark square bishop is strong enough. So I played more enterprising. I played this, which the engine does not like as much as just taking on e4. I don't know, though. It's hard to say because this is kind of a long-term pawn sack, and even though it likes black now, practically speaking, I think this gives me decent play. He took with the bishop. He's expecting queen takes. I don't know, though. It's a close call. So bishop takes. I guess the engine evaluates them roughly the same. Queen takes or bishop takes. Queen c4 would be interesting. Not taking the pawn at all. So here I played rook b1. Briefly thought about bishop h6. But I don't think I get enough after this. Blocking the diagonal. I see the engine likes rook g8 too. We do strand the king in the center, but I don't think I have enough open lines to work with here to give him too much trouble. I have a little bit of compensation, mainly just because his king situation is uncertain, but I think it's better just to remain the pawn down and try to play for compensation that way. So rook b1. He returned the bishop to g7. I went bishop f4. Yeah, this looks like a place that I could try to improve on because I don't know that my bishop was doing a whole lot. It's a tricky position to play because unlike some positions where you sack a pawn, here I don't feel like I have a clear target. You know, all his pawns are back and protected. His king is like not that weak yet. My compensation is mostly the fact that he can't coordinate quickly. His bishop will have a hard time getting out. He can't really move these pawns. So, castle. I played queen c2. Yeah, and then this move is strong, queen a4. It's a very annoying move because he doesn't want to stick around forever with his queen on b4. I guess he probably could if he wanted to, but pinning me here and also kind of eyeing the pawn on a2 presents me with problems. So I'm running at like a quarter pawn deficit right now. Rook fd1, I was just trying to get my last piece into the game. And now b5. Yeah, this move was played right away, too. b5. I couldn't believe how fast he played that. 9 seconds. I mean, it seems like a move like if you're going to think about it, if you're going to consider it, you'd want to think about it a little bit more. It's a good move, don't get me wrong, but the speed at which that was played was, I don't know. A little strange. My best move is knight a1. Nobody puts baby in the corner. No, I wouldn't want to play knight a1. That just seems... I mean, it offers a queen trade for one thing while I'm a pawn down. But maybe concretely, I am attacking the pawn on b5. I think that's a bad sign, though, if my best move is knight a1 and I'm still worse. It's just not easy to generate anything. Queen d2, trying to go bishop h6. Maybe a move like h4 right now, just trying to probe with h5. But he can continue the same plan he embarked upon during the game. This. So queen d2. Yep, he played a5. Bishop came in here. And he took, and then grabbed the pawn on a2. All done pretty quickly, too. I mean, from the time that I played queen d2, yeah, that was about a 30-second move. That was 10 seconds. And that was 1 second, so... Quick and committal decisions. I mean, I guess he's either just calling my bluff, or he doesn't think I have any play. I mean, he's right. Like, it looks like White's play is insufficient here. It's just, I know I would be a little nervous if I were Black doing this. And then f6. Maybe I should go rook takes b5 in this position. It's hard to say. After f6. I played h4, but I thought for 3 minutes and didn't come up with anything in this position. Rook takes b5 just felt like a defeat. Bishop a6. Rook bb1. I felt like he'd be completely happy to give back a pawn if he could get his bishop out with tempo. Also, e2's hanging a lot of lines. Maybe he doesn't want to take it right away. I don't know, but... So I played h4, but couldn't really come up with much. Maybe this is a critical position after queen takes a2, because, I mean, if I could teleport my knight to g5, I would do that in a heartbeat. I think my knight is the big problem in this position. It's the only piece that can reasonably coordinate with my queen to deliver a huge attack, or any sort of attack, because the rook lifts are not working out. Like rook d4 to h4 is not working. So my knight is the piece that will do the damage. I thought about this move, bishop d5, but I think he can just play this. At least I thought he could. Ah, I can go to a5. I didn't see knight a5. I was only looking at like knight back to d2, in which case he has queen takes d5. Same with knight d4, by the way. So I was only looking at like these failures, or knight c1, which also fails to this. I guess technically there's knight a1 too, but yeah, this is not good. The engine likes knight d2. I mean, it says I at least played the right move here, but I should suck it up and take on b5, huh? h4, b4, here. Yeah, bishop b5. Yeah, this move also seems really risky, at least to me, my eyes. Not so much for, you know, objectively speaking, but like I feel like a human wouldn't want to make this move, rook fp8. I mean, I've been kind of tiptoeing around it in my analysis here. I don't want to like outright accuse people of cheating, but the way this guy played is suspicious. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of engine matches. Not every move, but the timing and a lot of the decisions, like especially going after the material, not spending much time on it, it's suspicious. And he matched the engine quite a bit. I mean, one of the main things that makes me suspicious is just his rating. Like, let me show you what I mean. Pull up his finger notes. What is it? Helderespinoza. Yeah, I mean, it's suspicious. Like, he has this as his 15-minute rating, and then here's his 5-minute rating, 1266, with a very mediocre record. 3-minute is even lower than that, which is fine. I mean, I understand people play differently at different time controls. But given the speed of his decisions in that game I just played against him, like there's no way he should be 1266 5-minute. So I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I have mixed feelings about accusing people of cheating, but this would be one case where I would not be surprised if he was using the engine in full or at least in part. So nonetheless, though, it was an interesting game, and I hope that doesn't take away from the instructive aspects of this game. Queen b6 really caught me off guard. I don't know. I think maybe knight back to c2 is what I should have done. I like this pawn sack, though. I wouldn't mind doing this. It's just my coordination, especially my knight, gives me issues in obtaining counterplay and compensation. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back tomorrow with another 15-minute game. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.